Hello, 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 Sucrose here. Back to play more Oxygen not included. I think today we're going to do maybe 2 streams. I'll probably switch games at some point. So I've thought about it, and I looked at a bunch of different options. I also played a little bit in another save with some things, and it seems like morbs are the way to go. There's a very strange... So I thought that you had to feed morbs gas and they would convert it to polluted oxygen, but in fact, they appear to create polluted oxygen regardless, which is very strange. You know, it's obviously it violates a lot of laws of nature, but it works for us. So we're gonna basically, my idea is we're gonna make a pit, a little room for morbs. Not sure where, maybe down here. As always, I prefer not to pump gas, but probably going to have to pump. In which case, it could be anywhere. There's a lot to think about. So, the cheapest thing that we could possibly do is just to breathe polluted oxygen. That way we don't have to convert it to oxygen. Obviously, the downside with that is any slime lung that's around is going to it's going to grow in that polluted oxygen, and it might even, you know, kill us. So we'd have to be very careful that we didn't allow slime lung to propagate. Now, you know, we have a bunch of sand somewhere. Filtration medium. Got 360 tons of sand. So at least for the near future, we can cleanse it that way. There's other options to cleanse it, to turn it into oxygen. One I mentioned, I think, in the last stream, which is that we can cool it down and it'll turn into liquid oxygen. But that takes a lot of power, and you've got to pump it and all sorts of stuff. So now, I think the best way to do it is if you had an infinite supply of puffs, but we don't. We only have 3 or 4 puffs, which I did a little calculation, and it's only going to provide oxygen for just a couple of tubes. 4 or something. I don't know, 5. So that's kind of out. So we have to either clarify the polluted oxygen or just breathe it straight up. Now, morbs, apparently under ideal conditions, will output about a quarter of the oxygen that a dupe needs. So 4 morbs per dupe. As far as I know, they don't take any food or they don't have to breathe. They just keep outputting polluted oxygen. This hydrogen really isn't getting sucked up here. It looks like there's other gases that are kind of bouncing. So, okay, so you can cool it down. I think that's it. You can cool it down, or you can use oxygen deodorizers. So, yeah. So probably ideally, we would get rid of all this stuff, eradicate slime lung. And then we wouldn't have to worry about breathing polluted oxygen. It's going to take a while. Alternatively, we just don't dig into it, or we use enough deoxidizers that by the time we get to that point, we can clear it out without worrying. So I think that's the way that I'm going to go. So now the question is, where do we put our morb farm? Down here might be a good idea, good place. So morbs have a temperature range that they're comfortable in. I think it starts at 70 degrees. I'm not sure it tells us, but the wiki does. The wiki, of course, is often outdated. There's been so many version changes, you know. The wiki says that they are comfortable 20 to 37 degrees, so between 70 and, I don't know, 98. 70 and 100, basically. The oxygen that they output has a temperature. I don't know what that is. Hopefully it's the same temperature. Hey Kev, did I change OBS settings? I do not believe so. Why? What's up? What's it doing? Rip your potato internet, can't downstream 720p vids. Sorry. I think you can change the settings in the playback. I think you can hit settings and then quality. Yeah, you probably know. But yeah, I stream at kind of a high bit rate. I figure some people can do it. So we're talking about how to get above 48 dupes, because that's pretty much it's pretty much where we're stuck at. I don't think we're going to get above 48 unless we start doing something different. So I'm talking about building a morb farm. And I'm basically just trying to figure out where to put it. And I think I'm going to put it down here. We already have a lot of this carved out. The temperature is a little bit warm, but we can cool it down. Now I think it's going to have to be big. We want to be able to. I'd love to get to 100 dupes, which would require about 400 morbs. Well, actually less, because we're already at 50 dupes. So 50 times 4. Wait, what did I say? It would require about 200 morbs under ideal conditions, which means that they can't be overpressurized, and according to the wiki, they can't move. So we might have to. It might be a little tricky to do that. I was thinking the easiest thing to do would be to for some reason you could change the playback settings yesterday, but not this time. I was just watching somebody stream and I couldn't hit clip. And I was looking around and around because the button's always there, and when I reloaded the page, the clip button was there. So maybe try reloading and maybe the settings will be there. Twitch seems a little janky. But yeah, my idea is that we'll take these creature dudes and maybe pin them in a 1x1. And we'll just keep building this. That's my idea. It seems tedious. I'd like to just throw a bunch in a cage. But at the very least, I'd have to do it one row at a time, because we need to make sure that they don't overpressurize. If I build it here, I'm kind of limited up and down. I could go to the west, but that's kind of at the edge. So I like this spot, but there's not a whole lot of space to grow. Maybe over here would be good, but we have to cut all this down. Same pretty much anywhere else. It would be nice just to, if we start building it here, we can just keep going up and up and up, all the way to the top. Theoretically, have as many towers of morbs as we want. I like that idea. What if we start here? And kind of avoid the slime biome, or most of it. All right, let's do that. So, okay, so that's decided. We're going to build it over here. We can scale up and down. I don't want to do another big construction project where we have people suffocating. So we need to get rid of all this hydrogen. Also, Kef, if you get your settings worked out, I'll be happy to show you how anything works. We've got some interesting systems for cooling, for power, for farms, for making plastic, all sorts of cool stuff. Yeah, I think maybe we'll just put some pumps along this thing, and we'll run. Should we run the pipes up? It's probably the easiest thing to do. I don't want it on the left. Put it on the right. Okay. So, how about power? I think we can run this up at least until we run out of metal. Good. All right, so, you know, it is a shame, of course, that they have to work in the hydrogen for now. But hopefully we can get this clear, get this work shaft filled with oxygen. Probably should have run this. We'll see how this goes. I might have to put little pipes beside it. Sometimes they act funny when you run it through instead of merging. Alright, gotta make sure we have space for... Oh, we have plenty of space for bleach down. I think I'll leave it at 5. Probably sending, 24 dupes up here to build is what's killing the little pockets of oxygen, but just about got it. Hey, Kef. Welcome back. Sorry Twitch isn't working. I was saying that I was watching a friend stream on Twitch earlier today, and I couldn't find the clip button. And when I reloaded the page, it was there. Alright, so yeah, it looks like it's merging. So Twitch just seems a little bit janky. No, it's not merging. Alright, so this is... I don't... I think they did something special for plants that made plants kind of act the way they do. But for some reason Oh, you know how we should do this? We can do a gas bridge. And then disconnect that pipe. I don't think it can be disabled. But at any rate, when I reloaded the page, the clip button was there. And I was wondering if maybe that would be the same with the quality settings. So, for whatever reason, when you run straight through, it doesn't seem to merge properly. So see how now it's pumping and it wasn't before? It's more or less good there. So we need to do this to each one. Kind of a pain in the tuchus. I should have run it beside the pumps and then merged in, but okay. I'm trying to clear all this hydrogen from this shaft so that we can fill it with oxygen, because it's not doing it naturally. It's too slow. We're gonna basically mine all this stuff out and make a big tower of morbs to make oxygen, polluted oxygen, because we can't get past 48 dupes without more oxygen. That's the idea. I don't know how well it's going to work. I've never had a tower of morbs before, but I'm hoping. So I was saying before that if there's anything in the base that you want to see, I'll be happy to show you. We've got neat little systems for power. And for the farm and for cooling, these radiators bring hydrogen around and cool the base. All sorts of stuff. We can make plastic really efficiently. All right, so now it's joining because these gases are mixed. It's a big colony, yeah. These gases are mixed, so like it's waiting for the same gas to join. I think. There we go. So I think it was like a chlorine packet that was waiting. But this'll hopefully clear out better than before. And that way we should see some oxygen rising up in this tower. Maybe we'll put an what am I trying to say? I'm going to put an electrolyzer here. Alright, and needs water. So now, obviously these electrolyzers are going to make hydrogen, but we'll just have to deal with it. We'll probably have to put pumps. So we could do the same thing we did in the base and try to make a pyramid, but I'm hoping we don't have to worry too much about it. Yeah, so it's a packet of chlorine, and because this is pumping out hydrogen, it doesn't find room for the chlorine. It would have been better to do a merge. Hey Pale, how's it going? I think I've got an idea to get more dupes. I guess it would be better if we just open this up another tile so that it has more room to mix. Without torturing, yeah. Yeah, it's pretty cool, Kef. I like it too. I got tired of people being like, "Who are you talking to?" And I was like, "I promise, somebody's there. I'm not just making things up." But yeah, without torturing. So I want to make a tower of morbs. And as far as I can tell, morbs will produce polluted oxygen. And you don't even have to feed them gas, which I know sounds strange, but I tested it in another save. And even without any input, they just keep making polluted oxygen. I can't see my cursor. So if we can get through this part without people dying, I'd be really happy. I probably should have limited the people who can go out, but I'm not very careful. It's not really penetrating. I guess it should be no surprise there's chlorine in here because there's chlorine everywhere. That's decent. Oh, we need a... but yeah, the more that I thought about it, the more that I just couldn't... I couldn't bring myself to making a torture chamber for dupes. Even if they were all filled with Liams. Didn't see me live on YouTube. I wonder why. I've had that trouble with other people I'm following. Sometimes it just doesn't say anything. I'm supposed to get emails and things. I wonder why Twitch didn't tell you. Twitch is supposed to send an email too. Or if you have an app, it like pushes a notification. That's what all the cool kids are doing. Just push notifications. This is the thing that kills us when they go back and forth. It doesn't commit. All Twitch emails get in the spam folder? Oh, that sucks. You get notifications on phone? I'm pretty sure I get emails. Maybe I have it set. Yeah, I get an email that says so-and-so just went live on Twitch. Since I'm not cool, I don't use the app. Okay. I heard somebody suffocate, but everybody seems fine. Yeah, Twitch and YouTube, they both have their downsides. That's for sure. Yeah, you probably just set it to not get emails. I mean, that would be my guess. Because a lot of emails are pretty annoying. I guess you can watch streams on the app. It would suck to watch a stream on the phone, wouldn't it? I don't know. I feel like I don't get the phone the way that a lot of people use it. Like, it's tiny. It doesn't have a keyboard. It's no mouse. I don't understand how people use it. I see people on the subway watching movies on their phone. All right, I was really hoping this would have done better. Watch stream a small netbook on theater mode. Even this kind of sucks. Everything's so small. Couldn't imagine watching it on your phone. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe young people just have better eyes. So So this isn't fantastic. Okay, let's try one more. We'll do what I was gonna do. I just thought this would be nicer, but it actually doesn't work well because of the chlorine. So I think oops. I'm just gonna erase all the gas pipes, and then we'll build a branch. And even this isn't going to be great, but it's going to be better. So, okay, so for Pale, the idea is I'm going to come over here and I'm going to mine all this stuff out. We're going to make a level after level after level after level filled with morbs. And they're going to make us polluted oxygen. And we're either going to clean it or we're just going to breathe it straight. And I think ideally 4 morbs is enough oxygen for 1 person. So that's the idea. And we can make infinite morbs because they come out of outhouses. Yeah. So they don't duplicate, but if you have a filled outhouse, it makes a morb. And so we can make a bunch of morbs. All this is theoretical. I've never actually done it, but that's what the wiki says. Yeah, it used to be that if you had a corpse, if you had a dupe corpse, then it would spawn morbs forever. But they disabled that. They took that out, and now if it's a filled outhouse that you don't clean. Alright, so we're going to do that. So, doot, doot. That's what supposedly how it works. Boop. 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 Probably we shouldn't have filled this up with hydrogen to begin with, but you know, you sleep in the bed you make, or whatever they say. You lie in the bed you sleep in. I don't know. How does it go? Actually, that's something that's kind of neat. I know, Pale, you're from Germany. How sayings are different in different countries. So they are miniature versions of Golgothan, the shit demon. I guess so, yeah. Kind of makes sense considering they give off polluted oxygen. They're like shit monsters. Alright, so this will work better. It's still not perfect, but at least it won't get stuck. I hope I don't mind you advertising stream. No, please. I prefer people watch on Twitch, only because I feel like that's the only one I can make money on. But feel free to advertise. I was thinking of posting the stream to Reddit when we got to 1,000, but maybe someone else wants to do it. All right. Paladin's Geek status, awesome. Thank you. Thank you very much, Kev. So we're kind of struggling getting oxygen in here, and as you've seen, they seem to struggle with breathing. So I hate to start working on all this stuff before we get this clear. Maybe the way to do it is actually to go ahead and just put the oxygen up here. But you know what? We're gonna start here. So let's just start here. So let's deconstruct. Let's just go. Heck. Let's go all the way across. Why not? I think it's just a lot of hydrogen. And these pumps don't really pump a whole lot. I could have used big pumps, but I didn't. These pumps only pump 50 grams at a time. So it's just going to take a while. Like each square has 1,000 grams. In addition, and this could be a problem, but in addition, we're also making hydrogen with the electrolyzer. Yeah, but it's okay. We'll come through here. This should be fine. We've got, I mean, that's the nice thing about having 48 dupes, is that it actually doesn't take a whole long time to get things made. So now that we're digging, it should be better. So let's dig out quite a bit here. And maybe we'll stop at like wherever the biggest neutronium chunk is, so just so that we have a nice edge, we'll probably stop it here. It looks like something like that. I'm just going to dig out maybe up to here, so like this, just this region, and we'll start with this. I'm not even sure how I'm going to do this, but at the very least, I'm going to put probably something like one row of, I don't know. So here's the thing, to get morbs into like the right place, we have to use creature relocators. They're 3 tall. So unless I want to build it as I go, I have to leave 3 spaces. It'd be more efficient to build it as I go in the long run, but it's also more annoying. If we ever want to add more to a row, we have to go through crap. So I'll probably just put 3 on each row. It seems to be the easiest thing. So each row, each floor of this tower is going to be 3 tall. Let's do it like that. For starters, at least. Okay, now again, to make it optimal, we should have each more paralyzed. If they can't move, they make more oxygen. But that's cruel, and we're trying to be cruelty-free. And also, I'm lazy. So I'm probably just going to let them roam. Okay, so what I'm envisioning is just rows of 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3 with a morb, with a creature relocator on each floor, and then we'll have to just make a bunch of morbs. But you know, okay, so then there's another thing, is we could just make them on the floor. How big is a outhouse? 3. Okay, so that's also 3, so that works too. So maybe we don't relocate them. Maybe we feel like there's an appropriate expression. They say don't shit where you eat. We're gonna shit where we breathe. Basically, we'll put a bunch of outhouses, and then we'll maybe disable the ones in the base and let the dupes use these. All right, let's get a floor in here. In fact, let's make a floor so that we can run cables and whatnot. Yeah, that's the that's how we're going to get to 100. We're going to shit where we breathe. Now you got to remember, the only thing I've tested is that morbs make polluted oxygen without any input gas. So none of this might work. I don't know. We'll find out. There's probably really nice, easy ways to do this, and I'm sure if you went to Reddit, you could find somebody who's figured it out. But we're figuring this out as we go. So, yeah, I think forget the creature relocators. We're just going to do 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. We're going to shit. We're going to figure out how morbs are created. How is Babby formed? How excited are you going to be when it doesn't work? That's the question. Is that going to be fun also? All right. So, sad fun is still fun. Yeah, I hope so. So, I think I'll just make a wall. Oh, you can't put electrical stuff in the neutronium. So we're gonna make a wall like this. So that'll be the edge. What are you doing down there? Oh, I see. Oh, dear. Man, remember what I said about we'll never have to mop again? Okay, so this is going to be the bottom of our morb. We should name it. Our Tower of Morbs, our Morb Tower. Empire Morb. Alright, see ya, Kev. Have a nice day. Alright, I think we'll start with, we'll do a ladder, because you always need a ladder, right? Actually, so morbs are really annoying, like super annoying. They will follow you through doors. So I think we need a way to keep them out. We still need a ladder, but we have to figure out how to keep them out. I was thinking just we actually maybe make a ladder jump because they can't climb on ladders. So what if like if we did something like if there's two spaces. I don't even know. Like we don't put doors. We just put here. Let's try it. They can't jump up 3. So if we just do it like this, I don't think they can get in. I mean, get out. Something like that. God, I'm so tired of water. I'm so tired of water. This is why I blocked this off to begin with. Let's put I'm mining all this out. Screw it. Yeah, we'll have to see how it connects to like the next floor. So like, let's just put some stuff in to mess around. So plumbing, outhouse. So let's say that's an outhouse. We've got maybe a couple outhouses. And then this is where they live and play and run and jump. All right, I think I want to close this off. And each floor is going to be made of, let's say, mesh. I just like watching them work. But now what do we do? What do we do over here? Oh crap, what's wrong? Alright, we're starting to get a little bit of oxygen up here. That's good news. In fact, we're starting to suck some oxygen. So maybe we cut this one off. All right, so how is this going to go? They can get through that, right? They can get through that, but that's not nice either. What if we can't do that? Because they can't go through that. I don't want this to be ugly like the farm, where we couldn't make things nice. I want this to be the same all the way up. Oh, they have toilet paper. That's cute. Maintenance channels between every layer. Well, maybe. That's an idea, but then we sort of waste vertical space. All right, if we do it like this, they can get through here. But then we have to make that like that. It's cleaner than the toilets. Right, but then this... It would go over by 1 every time. I wonder if, will they jump down holes? Because if they won't jump down holes, then you could just have the ladder go up and this like this. And they all stay on their level. I mean, this is actually overly complicated because you might as well just have this. I don't know if we... I'll just start making that with this light, but... Maybe I'm overthinking this, but... So this way, they'll be born on a floor, and they can't get off the floor. But we can climb up and down. I like this. This seems really simple. I like simple. So this will just run all the way across, and that's it. So we're also going to be putting pumps on every few floors. I don't know exactly how many we need, but we'll need some pumps. True. True, but we have a lot of dupes, so... maybe it won't take that long. Crap. Uh, I think Bonnie is not long for this world. I have to mine that out, send her down here. I don't think she's gonna make it. It's like, yeah, I think it's Bonnie 3. Oh. I don't know. Oh, I should have thought about this sooner. I'm dumb. Oh, shit. No, Bonnie, I want you. Crap. I wish you could direct them to do something the way that you can in RimWorld. Because she needs to be the one to dig this out. But I think it's too late. I think it's too late. Oh, Bonnie. It hurts. It hurts every time. I don't think I'll ever get used to it. Oh. Alright. Fuck. I'm... Something is up. This game is giving me Liam every time. And honestly, a lot of Wrens. Small bladder. Hey, that gives us more water. Should we get 5th Liam? Fifth Liam or 2nd Wren? Okay. Welcome, Jefferson. Give him a job of some kind. Alright, so these people we can upgrade to miners so that they can do Abyssalite. Maybe that was Bonnie's problem. She couldn't do Abyssalite. So tedious. Alright. So I think I'm going to open that to let a little bit of air in. You know, if we just had a little bit, Bonnie might have survived. And I think I'll go all the way across on, like, let's say 2 floors, and then we'll stop there. Gonna run out of gold before anything else. Oops. Okay. Let's put... I think I messed this up. I mean, not messed it up, but I made this out of sedimentary rock. And I really want to make it out of abyssalite. Because the morbs are sensitive to temperature, and I'd rather not have outside influence on the temperature. So we're just gonna fix it. Nip it in the bud. What was that? Oh my goodness gracious. Alright, so they have some sedimentary rock down there. They do too. Jesus Christ, why are they making this so hard? Okay. Alright, so we're doing abyssalite. We're gonna go right back across. Oops, I don't want to do this 9. Wait, you can what? It used to be if you tried to write it over with the same type of tile, it didn't do anything. Now I feel a little bit sheepish. I swear they want... I think they want to die. Alright, this is more or less coming together. Just one death so far, I think. So I think this will be, maybe we'll just do this one floor. Now the trick to making morbs, I think, is that you don't empty them. So let's try the easiest thing, which is to disable the building and see if that'll make a morb. Otherwise, we'll just set it to priority 1. But with 48 dupes, they still might empty it, so hopefully this will work. No. Yeah. Let's see if that does anything. Probably we'd have to disable access to the floor. So I think on the left we can use sedimentary rock because it's next to neutronium. But I'll put abyssite here. What are they even doing? Oh, they're picking up stuff. Didn't even get anything. So, sadly, I can't scroll the camera any further to the left. I know that it's sort of weird. All right. So far, so good. I'd love to dig all of this out. So this is full of hydrogen. It doesn't really matter what it's full of for the morbs. they will delete gas if it's not polluted oxygen. But of course, for the dupes, it might make sense to... I mean, this is easy to do, and it might save some lives. So I'm just going to stick a electrolyzer in here for the time being. Like for the next 5 minutes. Since all this equipment is right here. Super simple to do. Now my guess is a disabled outhouse isn't going to make a morgue. But that would be nice, so that's what we're hoping for. But I think these two will. As long as they don't, you know, clean it. Alright, so now they're picking stuff up. We've got oxygen coming in so they won't die. I'd love to get rid of all of this ice and garbage. Here too, because I'm just so tired of the... I wonder if we should put maybe a ladder on both sides. Sorry again about the visibility. I know it's kind of a pain. Actually a little bit stressed out. Apparently not being able to breathe stresses dupes out. Alright, I'm really happy with this. This is looking good. It's probably way bigger than we need, but hey, how else are we going to get to 1,000 dupes? Yeah, there we go. High hopes. Yeah, I don't think we're really going to get to 1,000, but I have a feeling the game is going to get too slow before that point. But you never know. I mean, I'm hoping 100. Really, I would be really happy with 100. We might not get any unless we get some morbs. Hey Joey, did I ever decide what to do on day 1,000? No, I haven't decided. Your dupe is still alive. Yep. We did have a death. We had another death, but luckily it wasn't a real person. Ooh. But we do have a strategy to get more dupes. I don't know. I was thinking maybe we should post this to Reddit for 1,000. See if we can get a bunch of people in here. Still got 100 days. Oh shit! Look, we got one. We got a morb. He's kind of cold. He might die because he's cold. So we're going to try to make oxygen using morbs. Yes, there is an O&I Reddit. You cannot name animals, sadly. I tried last game. I wish you could. But yeah, the Oxygen Not Included Reddit's it's somewhat active. So I'm farming morbs because, watch what happens. He makes polluted oxygen. And we're going to take that oxygen and we're going to breathe it. Now, even though it has this little icon, it looks like he's not actually exhaling germs. Oh shit, we have another. Oh, no, 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 don't clean it. Don't clean it. So apparently they spawn when an outhouse gets full and you don't clean it. Sadly, we have so many dupes that they don't have anything to do, so they're cleaning them. I'm not really sure how to prevent them from cleaning them. We can try disabling the buildings, but I don't know whether that's actually going to get dupes to spawn. In the meantime, we're going to keep... I wish I could see this better. I apologize again that it's on the left edge, but the game doesn't let you scroll past it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because they're really, you know, there's 50 dupes running around, so um, I could just like make random tasks, but I'll think about that once I get all this mined out. So in the meantime, plumbing, outhouse. Let's put a couple more of these down. So yeah, yeah, I should have put a door. I think that's a good idea. Like if I had just put a door, maybe even between each one, I could lock them. Crap. How's there water in the base? Seriously. Oh, because the ice. They're carrying ice. Um, so because these bathrooms don't have sinks, they're getting food poisoning and they're bringing it back to the base. All right, I like your idea, Joey. But I have to deconstruct this stuff to do it. I, it's, they have infinite shits, so it doesn't matter. So we used to have 2 morbs, now we have 1. Um, I think it's too cold over here. So we're going to have to, once we get this built, we're going to have to figure out the temperature. They seem to survive, they seem to prefer 70 to 100 degrees, or 20 to 30 something Celsius, 20 to 37. Hi, Psychedel K. You love me. Well, thank you. How's it going? Morbs handle hot weather better than cold weather and used to farm them back in the old days. Don't think they've changed that. Probably you're right. Um, the the issue is we had an ice biome here, and so it's really cold. And we have to normalize these temperatures out. Shouldn't take too long now that we're getting rid of the ice. And we're going to block all this in with abyssalite, so we should be easy to normalize. Hopefully. So let's see. Just about got all this. I'll be happy when all the slime and all the ice is gone from this map. Maybe by cycle 2000. All right, so here's what I'm thinking. Maybe this is over engineering. The problem is they get stuck indoors, even when you are just opening them. But I don't know the best way to do this, or even a good way. I love how exaggerated they are when they fall. Like, they fall one tile, and they're like, oh my god, my life is over. Look at all this. See, they carry the ice around, and then it's dinner time. I mean, it's sleep time. And they just drop it. Transport tubes. Transport tubes is an interesting idea. So how would you do transport tubes to block the bathrooms? Well, the problem is for transport tubes, you have, whenever they get onto the tube network, they have to have a building. This transport tube access is how they get on. Now, I think they can exit anywhere, but this building is actually kind of expensive. 1,000 watts. So it's kind of like for one-way travel. All right. Nearly there. Let's close that. Look at that. See? Such a punk. This is why they're so annoying. But look at how much oxygen he's making now that he's stuck. Man, we could have done this so much simpler. Just putting like 1,000 of them in one door. Um, 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 um. Hmm. I haven't decided. So, question is, should we convert it to normal oxygen? It's way cheaper to just let them breathe polluted oxygen. Obviously, don't have to do anything. Um, but of course, the downside is that unless we've eradicated slime lung, we could have an outbreak, and it would be bad. All right, so this is full. So I think Joey was basically suggesting, you know, we disallow that bathroom. Fart air. Uh, Actually, why don't they just go to the left? I don't get why they don't go to the left. Because of that? It's because of that. But he's gonna build this, right? Come on, buddy. Come on, Joey, you can do it. All right. Escape, escape, please. Miss Mittens, run. If you die, you're gonna be pissed. I'm trying, man. I'm trying. I think they're okay. I don't really understand why they just hang out here, but, you know, dupes gonna be dupes. So this'll work. I'm kind of sad how slow it takes the morbs to spawn, but I guess that's the price we pay. So if we had ladders or something, I don't know. I mean, there's got to be a nice way to do this. Morbs used to spawn for a set amount until you reset the save file. Like a certain number would spawn and then you have to reload. Is that what you're saying? It's like 3? Okay. So what we could do is basically fill up a bunch of bathrooms, block everything off. We'd have to do it with ladders. Or we could just, I really wish there was a disable tool. I've wanted that so many times this game. I think the right way to do this, the easiest for me to think about way, is we'll just fill up bathrooms right to left. And then when they fill up, we'll move on to the next one. And once they're all full, we'll let the morbs spawn and save and reload. Something like that. Problem with that is loading actually takes quite a while. It's, you know, cycle 900 and we've done a whole lot in the save. But once we have all this full of poop, and if they all make 3, then it actually won't take a whole long time to make a bunch of morbs. So let's hope that works. think we... Alright, so we've disabled all of them. We'll open them up right to left. Joey says, looks it up. Mostly right. Spawn from filled outhouse. A sign says it should be cleaned. Seal them instead of cleaning it. And the morbs will spawn from it. 3 morbs spawn from each filled outhouse. Requires a save reload after each to spawn the next. After 3 have spawned, clean the outhouse, fill it up, and restart the process. Huh, okay. That's a little bit more complicated. It takes ideally four morbs to provide enough oxygen for 1 dupe. If we try to get to 100, that's 50 more dupes. 50 times 4, 5 times 4, 200 morbs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So 16 times 3. Each of these, if this is full, is going to provide 48. So we have to do it. That's a lot. That's a lot. He later said he was wrong. It's unlimited. No more cat. Oh, that's good. That makes it a lot easier. So we'd have to reload 4 times just for this 1 row to get us to 100 dupes, theoretically. Very, very theoretically, because there's a lot going on here. We have to keep them all alive. We've got to pump out the oxygen. We've got to clean it. So I think what I'm going to do for starters is I'm going to, wherever I pump the oxygen to, the polluted oxygen, I'm going to put deodorizers. And that's just all we're going to do. I know it's going to go through sand, but we have tons of sand. Literally. We have 400 tons of sand. By the time we use that up, hopefully we'll have eradicated slime lump. Because we're going to go through and... Good gracious! We're going to go through and we're going to mine up everything. So, that's the easy solution. The more complicated solution, of course, is to convert polluted oxygen into oxygen. I've done that before in another save. I did it by cooling it down. It just takes a lot of power. And now you have insanely cold oxygen that you have to heat up. I just don't think it's very efficient. All right, did we get rid of all this water? Please tell me yes. Oh, look, we've got 2 of them now. Actually, these doors might be where we want to leave them. We just leave them stuck in the doors, and they're going to keep making polluted oxygen. I actually kind of wanted to see him roam around, but I guess this is cool too. All right, I'm going to do one more pass for water. Um, okay. Okay, good. So I'm pretty sure that pumping oxygen, we're going to have to pump multiple pipes. One node of this is 1,000 grams. So 100. So they breathe in about 100 kilograms of oxygen a day. Well, Joey does. The rest of them, 50 kilograms. So that actually, so I've been doing the numbers based on 100. So that's actually half the morbs that we need. But at any rate, that's 100 ticks. No, 10 ticks per person per day. So I think we're going to need more pipes than one. You're skewing the data. Yeah, it's funny because like I think both you and Ren are mouth breathers or whatever, but you still take more oxygen. I don't know why. I guess it depends on maybe what you were doing. Like maybe you didn't suffocate as much as Ren did, something like that. So on the one hand, I want to shut this off to let these dudes make polluted oxygen. On the other hand, I want to leave this on to warm up the room. On a third hand, I could put hydrogen through here to make the temperature normalize. I also need pumps and I need pipes, and we don't know how often to put them. Let's start with one. Good place to start. Oh, we must be full of, we've filled up our bins. Okay. Food looks good. Air looks good. happy, happy, happy with everything. So maybe we should check water. I want to say this was 770 at the end of the last stream. This I don't remember. But I think we're good. I really think we're stable. Hey Doug, welcome back. It's going pretty well. We're up to 48 dukes, and we're trying to get more. We have conquered this game, I think. You're drinking, or the dukes? The dukes are drinking. Because sometimes, oh no, don't clean it, don't clean it. Go over here. No, 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 no. All right, I like this door. I like this door idea. It seems to be working. Redneck margarita. What's a redneck margarita? A beer and something? I feel like I'm just totally guessing. Substitutes tequila with bourbon. Mountain Dew and tequila. Okay, all right, that's pretty redneck. Oh shit! All right, hey, we've got some oxygen here. Make sure to enable. Oh, good call, Joey. Thanks. Now, if we were really, what we really want to do is disable the other bathrooms so that they use these. But I think they'll find their way over here. You learned it in Tennessee? I don't know if I've had Mountain Dew in years. Good question. So, toilets are how you get these creatures to spawn, the morbs, and you let them back up, and then morbs come out, just like real toilets. But the thing about these morbs is that they create polluted oxygen. So that's what we're going to start breathing from now on. Yeah. I had a friend who supposedly had a rat come up her toilet. And I can only imagine, if it's true, how terrifying that would be. So. This is so cold. You have a field mouse that lives under your kitchen? The old way to make morbs is attracted to dead dupes. The old setup is very unethical. Yeah, I remember the dead dupes thing. And I think they would just keep spawning with the dead dupes. Sadly, we've had so many deaths that it wouldn't even be unethical. We could just use some of these deaths. 4-year anniversary with your wife. Congratulations. Is she drinking a redneck margarita as well? I'm not really a fan. Not a huge fan. All right. Champagne and sherbet? Interesting. That sounds pretty... Is that like a root beer float? Champagne and sherbet? Alright, I think I'm going to cut this one. Mimosa kind of thing. We need to get people to use this. We probably should have started with this bathroom. Alright, I'm gonna... This is a little bit mean, but not a whole lot. I'm gonna disable one of these. Maybe 2 of them. I'll leave these up. Mimosas are huge in New York City. I don't know if they're big everywhere. We could also assign people, and they couldn't use any other bathroom. I kind of like that idea. But then we have to unassign them from all the other toilets. That's annoying. Okay, I have a better idea. I have a much better idea. Enable... Except I have to go through and enable all these. Enable... Sorry. Okay, so the idea is, we've got all those bathrooms. I'm going to disable all of our other bathrooms. And then we're going to disable the toilets as they fill up, and then open them all up with the... You'll see what I'm saying. Maybe I'll leave one over here for, like, emergencies. This is kind of annoying for me, so I want to build a platform like that. Let's, now that we're rich and successful, we can afford to do silly stuff like make platforms. All right, so what I was trying to say is that the idea is this one's full, so we can actually, oh, we've already disabled it, okay. So basically, if they fill up in the middle, we can just disable the building. And then as they fill up on the right side, then we can disable the doors. We just have to be a little bit vigilant to keep on the lookout. But we're up to 3 morbs. It's not bad. Blast it all, Marie. It's like... Don't do it. Don't do it, Stinky. Oh yeah, we're gonna have so much oxygen. Let's I'm so disappointed in you, Mima. Build it! Come on, build it! It was so much abyssalite right there. Why didn't you use it? Alright, so now we can get rid of these. That's gonna kill somebody, but whatever. Okay. Good. Alright, so I'm gonna cut this. Oh. Are you trying to clean? What are you doing? No, you're just running. You like the little sky bridges I just made? It's visually appealing. So much of the game consists of clustered land. Yeah, I like the idea of them running. I don't like the hopping between the ladders. That's pretty much why I did it. I also want to get all this filled up with air. Ooh. Joey, just his immune system went below 100. Will he die? Tune in. Okay. These require emptying, so all I need to do is disable them. And although they won't produce morbs, they won't clean them either. So we'll get all these filled, and then we can enable them and close the doors. That's the idea. I think this is easier because this way we have all 48 dupes using these restrooms. And who knows, maybe they will produce morbs. We'll find out. Alright, so I turned this off, but I added this. So we'll get a little bit of heat going in here. They just fixed the bathroom? What? Those rascals. They must have started before they disabled it. It's weird that they have to toggle disable. It should just happen. Actually, I think it's just the sign is busted because it still says out of order. So I think we're good. It's just goofy. Seems like a graphical thing. JP Shroud asks, if you mine out an entire biome, does it retain its temperature properties? No, it does not. Temperature, for example, of a cold biome is only because there's so much ice there. And Wheezeworts will cool it down, but once you take the Wheezeworts away, it doesn't cool anymore. Also, welcome, JP Shroud. We're basically watching 48 dupes use the restroom. We're trying to fill up these restrooms so that they produce morbs. Which is kind of a weird thing to do if you think about it, but I'd rather not think about it. Alright, so we're using up all the oxygen. So they're coming in here to do their business, and they're using up the oxygen, so I guess I have to re-enable this. Yeah, exactly, Doug. Please don't report me. Alright, so see what happened is I disabled it, but she's coming in, so I'm just going to move her. She should stop, and now it's disabled. Yeah, it's just a graphical thing. That's weird. 220 cycles in, trying to find a way to cool steam geyser into usable water. I'm thinking steam generators of inship but no plastic. So JP Shroud, the thing about cooling is some buildings you don't need to cool the water. All right, I'll check it out in a second, Joey. I'll make a couple of vitamin chews. So JP Shroud, no matter what temperature you put water into an electrolyzer, for example, the air comes out at 70 degrees Celsius. So even if you put in like negative 50-degree water, the air comes out as 70 degrees Celsius. So it doesn't make sense to cool air that goes into a electrolyzer. Yeah, it's strange. It's hard to show you the temperature of the air that comes out, but I can show you this. This is much simpler to see. The water here is coming in at 177. This is my carbon skimmer. So it comes in at 177 from the geyser, and it goes out at 107. So the skimmer is another example of a building where you just give it hot water and it doesn't matter. If you give it 24 degree centigrade water, it comes out at 70 degrees centigrade. Yep. Not everything works like that, but electrolyzers, carbon skimmers, fertilizer synthesizers, water sieves, they all output at a fixed temperature. So here the polluted water is coming in at 170, and it's going out at 103. It's just a fixed temperature. It's very strange. I feel like it's a problem that they should fix it. It's a bug, but it's how it works. It's not every building works like that, though. If you look at the bathrooms, let's see if I can... Since we're doing weird stuff with bathrooms, it's hard to show you, but bathrooms actually output at the same temperature. So stick with your plan with anti-therma and cooling with wolfmite. The real trick, and you're probably doing this, but just in case you're not, the real trick to keeping your base cool when you have a geyser is to use a Abyssalite pipe everywhere. So we have a gold pump, a Abyssalite pipe, and this 200 degree water does not warm up the base. That's the real key. And then you're left with, like you say, the only thing you have left to do is cool the air that comes out of the electrolyzer. Yeah, it's so counterintuitive. I think nobody expects it to work like that, and it doesn't make any sense, but that's how it works. An outer wall of Abyssalite, that's perfect. Yeah, that's exactly what you want to do. And that way, all that heat, it'll go into your electrolyzer or your skimmer, and it'll just disappear. And that's what we do. Now that's obviously when you have a lot of oxygen production, that is pretty warm. So you do have to cool the air that comes out of the electrolyzer, but there's one really big exception. So like I said, bathrooms is one exception, but the other big one is plants. So whatever temperature water goes into plants, the plants wind up becoming that temperature. So be careful with plants. I think this is working pretty well. We've got 5 filled bathrooms over here. Okay, and then Joey, and it looks like Ada as well. So it's mostly we've made them use these bathrooms. They don't have sinks. What should we do? We could put a bunch of sinks. It's not a bad idea. But where do we put them? Could put them, we could get rid of that stairs and put them here for now. Let's do that. I think 4 is enough. Okay. And then Beautiful. So this will help with the so-called food poisoning germ. And we want to go right only. And then we'll get rid of these two stairs for now. Yeah, for real. I was playing around with the morbs to see how much air they produce and stuff. And I had a base with 8 dupes. And I was like, why isn't anything happening? And it's kind of funny. I don't know. All of my dupes pretty much, I mean, all of my bases pretty much stop at 8. Except for this one. No, don't clean it. Oh, I forgot to build the last. Oops, oopsie poopsie. Boop, 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 boop. This is cool, right? We're just hanging out, yeah. Oh yeah, got some water coming. Not a real big fan of them hanging out in here, but... Oh shit, I've got to close that door. Okay. I have all these arrows the right way. It's beautiful. This is beautiful. It's terribly inefficient, but that's not really what we're going for, I suppose. Wait, why didn't you wash your hands? Why aren't they washing their hands? This is input. It's got water. Is output not connected? Output's not connected. Oh, those rascals. Shoot. Come on and build it. I feel like this is a little bit like torture, but I guess it's better than the alternative. There we go. All right, sinks are working. It's just like in a public restroom. Pick whichever one is free. All right, so this one is disabled. What's that green spray they're using? It's to decontaminate it from germs. So these things are covered in germs now. Basically because these things are disgusting, and then they haven't been washing their hands. So there's germs everywhere now. It's better than creating morbs the old-fashioned way. Well, that's true. I think it's also better than creating a torture room to extract their vomit and their tears so that we can make oxygen with it. Yeah, a lot of people think the germ overlay is gross, but you got to remember they're not real germs. All right. How many was this? Like 15? I think 16. How many morbs should we shoot for? Something like, I mean, I want something like 100 or 200 to play with. So I think this is enough bathrooms. Once we fill up this level. And hopefully they'll be stuck across, which is nice because that way they won't do over. What do you call it? Over max pressure. All right. Looks like Joey's healthy again. Not worried. We're going to have a lot of polluted dirt, aren't we? Actually, maybe we won't because we're not cleaning these. Alright, so almost got it. So there's what, four more? I don't like the fact that we've got slime lung in here. I don't really know where that came from. Because this room was pristine, I think. So maybe they carried it in from somewhere else, or you know, it was on a little bit of material that they used to build or something. But that worries me. I keep seeing them pop up like off the ground. Alright, so just a few more. I just realized if I do it up here, you guys can see this. I'm not sure why I wasn't doing it up here before. Alright, Hassan, Trafaldo, Meep. Duh. Okay. I probably, I don't know. I find this really boring. I guess part of the problem is we have 48 dupes, which most of the time you don't have that many. But this just seems so tedious. What's the best thing to build gas pipes out of to lose heat? Granite. You should build them out of granite. If you look at the thermal conductivity of granite, it's the highest out of all the minerals. No problem. I'm kind of surprised that we only have 3 morbs. Oh, we had some deaths. I think we had at least 1 morb death. But I guess I'm surprised we haven't been getting more morbs. So we might have to do the save and load thing. I don't know. Yeah. I'm gonna wait. I'm feeling dangerous. Although I'm also eager to see how much urine 48 dupes can produce. out on the floor. All right. It looks like you were right. Unable to. All right, we've just about done this. I can't believe I'm excited about filling up 15 bathrooms full of dupe poop. But here we are. Nice job, Stinky. All right, there's one more, 3 visits. So I'll pop up another one over here. All right, now what's the plan? You might ask. We're gonna re-enable all these bathrooms, but we're gonna prevent them from being cleaned, and then we're gonna save and load until we have 100 morbs. Or, you know, just wait. I mean, maybe it'll just work. Oh, that actually, those germs died quite quickly. There's still some slime lung out here, which, you know, that's, slime lung sucks, but how are we doing on this tunnel up here? It's starting to break up. There's not a whole lot of air up here, but oh, look at that! It says assigned to Delvina. I feel like I've seen that before, but I didn't really understand what was going on. So the bathroom was assigned to Delvina, who used the bathroom and fell asleep. I see. So you can figure out who's using something. Sometimes, maybe. Hooray! Okay, so now what we want to do is enable all of these buildings. Painfully, laboriously slow. And now we want to disable these doors so that people can't get in here after they've been re-enabled. But we don't want them to clean them. It's a little bit funny. Okay, so now door goes right. Oh my god, it takes like a second when you click on the button, and I guess that's because our base is so big, but it's kind of annoying when you do something like this. Whew. Okay, all that's done. Let's re-enable the real bathrooms. 1, 2, 3. Oh, they fixed one? God blast it. Also, where'd this water come from? Oh well. It sucks, but it's not a really big deal. We still have a ton of them. So all the rest of these require emptying. And theoretically, we sit here and wait, and morbs should appear. Maybe, I mean, so far we've seen maybe 2 per bathroom, but maybe it's every couple days or something. Just double check I got this door. Temperature's a little warm over here. We want to keep it between 70 and 100. So I think I'm going to turn that off again, because they're not going to need to come in here to use the restroom. I think we also might as well, let's just assume this is going to work. We should put a gas pump. For now, I'll just put it in the middle. Although I don't like that it's next to the heater. But whatever. I'm not going to worry about it. And let's start by filling something with oxygen and seeing how it goes. Is there any like nice little crevice we can? Well, we can stick it over here and get the slime, but let's just do it. Let's do it here. So this is just a trial run, basically. We'll do a vent, and we'll do a 2 deoxidizers. And deodorizers, sorry. We will power that Mam Jamma. And of course, as always, Atmos sensor, so that we can control it. That's pretty much it. I think we can afford to turn these off. And then we'll see how much air can come out over here using this morb traction. Sort of went overboard digging things out, but you know, I'm not sad about that. There was a lot of water. Oh, crap. We can't get to it because it's... But luckily, that one was out of order. I mean, that one wasn't full, so we can mess it up. That's not what I want. Okay. So looking good. So all this is kind of the right idea. So we'll say let's do it when it's above 400. Seems decent to me, right? Sucked a little bit out. It's putting over there, whatever. It's hydrogen. There's quite a lot of hydrogen in this room. All right. So everything's in place. All we have to do is get morbs. The morbs aren't really coming, but we got a few morbs, so we know this is how it works. I'm a little bit scared that once they start to empty it, it messes it up. And it looks like they've started emptying all of these. It also could be that no matter how many bathrooms you have, you can only produce 3 morbs in total before you have to save and load, which would kind of destroy this whole idea of having 15 filled bathrooms. But the evidence that we have suggests that we have literally 3 morbs, and no more are coming. So I think what I'm going to do, everything seems pretty stable. We have oxygen, temperature. I'm going to go take a quick break. I'll be back in a minute, and I'm going to leave the game running. hopefully we'll have some morbs when I return. So I will see you just in a minute. Bye, Doug, but I'll be back in just a minute. Alright, I'm back, and holy shit, we've got morbs. Morb, 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 morb. So one in a lot of these, but this one has 3. I'm not really sure what that's about. Hey, this is pretty cool. So, we have this turned off, this turned off, this turned off. I'm gonna do one little, just to be super conservative, because this is like, these are free, essentially. I'm just gonna put a bunch more out there. These dudes, these deodorizers, they filter polluted oxygen and turn it into oxygen, but at the cost of sand. So you have to put sand in them. Oh, the pumps that are off? These are electrolyzers. They turn water into oxygen and hydrogen. Oh no, get out of there. Get out of there. I don't want you in there. Go out. Lindsay, get out. Go away. These are your primary way of making oxygen. But the problem is we run out of water. We don't have a renewable supply of water that. Yeah, isn't that great? We only have enough water for 48 tubes, not for 100. So we have to stop relying on water. All right. So what's going to happen is this is a closed environment. No air is coming in. But these I'm claiming that these morbs are going to produce polluted oxygen from nothing. It's going to increase the pressure in the room. Trigger this pump. These dudes, I made them out of abyssalite. It's going to trigger the pump. The pump's going to pump air out. This is going to filter it. This is kind of silly, but I think I might even put. Some more here. I think I'll put these here. And you see how quickly this air pressure went down. We'll see how high we can get it. Now, all this, almost all of this is sustainable. These dudes don't need to be fed or anything. But eventually we're going to run out of sand. But we don't have to worry about that for a while. We have 400 tons, and we can mine more. There's plenty of sand left in the map. Like here. That's sand. But at any rate, in the apocalypse, you know, at turn 1500, they can just breathe polluted oxygen. And as long as they don't get slime lung, they should be fine. So we're hoping none of this is polluted for now. It looks good. This is actually seems to be doing pretty well. I'm just kind of surprised that this worked without us having to tweak it. Like, that's a fair good bit of oxygen. Look at that. The room's filling up. And just imagine if we can get more morbs. More morbs. Oh, it looks like they just came over. Like, what if every time we saved and loaded this, we got another batch of morbs? Or maybe it just takes a couple days. I think Joey was saying, somebody was saying maybe either might be the case. But this is enough air for a couple of dupes, I think. So by my estimates, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. No, sorry, not 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So that's 16. So 4 dupes. I think that's 4 dupes of oxygen. If you have too many, can you set them free and stop the toilets? If we have too many, we can kill them and eat them, actually. So but yeah, you can clean the toilets or delete the toilets, and they'll stop spawning. Yeah, I mean, maybe they get sick. I don't know. But I thought it drops meat. I could be wrong. It might not drop meat. It might drop, like, slime or something. So, oh, we got a little light blue, little puffs of light blue there. Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm excited. This works. Maybe it's too early to call it, but it seems to work much better than I expected. Like, we're getting up into very breathable territory. Looks like it takes a lot of manual work to replace the sand with clay. You'd add deodorizers under the vent. So, according to the wiki, deodorizers work in a 5-tile area, like, maybe 5 isn't the right word. Maybe it is, but it's like 5 across and 5 down. But I'll throw some down here. Yeah, I probably don't need all these, but I don't know. I'll put one below it. kind of what we're looking for here is how fast does our sand go down. If it's 1 ton a day, we can survive for another 400 cycles like this. And in 400 cycles, we can mine out all of the slime and all of the polluted water, and we can get rid of slime lung, hopefully. I mean, maybe what we should do is actually put some chlorine in here, just to kill what's in here. Let's do it. It's super easy. So so my idea is we'll just redirect these 2 pumps to pump in here, and then we'll open up this this wall with chlorine. So what we're hoping to see is more than 1 morb in these other doors, in these doors that only have 1 morb. Can I not reach that? So let's just do this. Look at that, it's filling up with polluted oxygen. Alright, so now I'll open this up. I don't know if this is going to work, but it doesn't hurt to try. It's always good to open this stuff up. I don't like that they're hanging out in here, but what am I going to do? Ooh, so slime lung's spreading. The slime lung that's in here is coming out of here. But out here it's oxygen, so it should die down. But we definitely want to kill the slime lung. So now we're pumping in quite a bit of So I'll kill that. So we're getting some chlorine in there. We'll see what that does. But, yeah, the slime lung is probably a problem. So if we can't get rid of the slime lung, I mean, I think we can get rid of the slime lung, but we might have to kill everything. Like, suck out all the air in this room, sterilize it, and start over. Because I know it says that there are a germ source, but I haven't actually seen germs created by these fellas. In my other test, basically I just had some in a pen. But on the other hand, if they do create germs, then we certainly have to deal with the polluted oxygen. By freezing it, cooling it down. This takes a lot of power. I was hoping that we could avoid that, because, well, maybe it's not so bad. I was thinking we're going to run out of natural gas, and we are, but we have 48 dupes that could sit in a hamster wheel and generate power for us. So, maybe it's not such a dead deal after all. So let's see. Let's take a look at our pet morb, who is covered in germs. Well, that's not a good sign. Can I not use the fertilizer synthesizer and make natural gas that way? Well, actually we are, but it takes water. It takes polluted water to make natural gas. So there's only so much polluted water we have. Plus, these buildings take power. The fertilizer synthesizer actually takes power to run. So you can't just get infinite power. But like I said, we can have 100 dukes running hamster wheels, so maybe it's not so bad. All right, I think it's gotten as much chlorine as it's gonna get. Well, I guess what I have to say is it's a partial success, for sure. We have one part of the equation, but we have a problem too. So we might just have to. We could capture a morb, put it in an isolated environment, and see whether it creates germs. This fella says it has no surface germs. You say morbs definitely produce germ-polluted oxygen? Maybe. Maybe. I want to do a test, though. Because I also thought morbs required input gas, and that doesn't seem to be the case. So I'm wondering if maybe, you know... let's build this fellow another little house. Yeah. But a lot of people will tell you they do. And so that's what I thought. So I'm saying maybe... I'm saying we should test this. I mean, I'm going to test this. So JP Shred, if I put polluted oxygen in a cold enough environment, it won't matter. So that's true. The problem is that it takes power to cool things down, and I was hoping to avoid using power. I can cool polluted oxygen down to the point where it turns into liquid oxygen. But then I have really cold oxygen, and it's taking a lot of power. It's really complicated and inefficient. All right. I don't think there's any germs here. All right, so... None of that, it says no surface germs on that too. So let's try putting a morb in, seeing what happens. So you can use wheezeworts, and we're using wheezeworts to cool things down, but there's only a certain number of wheezeworts you have. They're not, you don't have infinite wheezeworts. So you have a certain amount of, you know, joules or watts per second that you can cool down, whatever, degrees per gram per second, or whatever the unit is. And I just for funsies, I want to see if we can get to 100 dupes, and we don't have enough wheezeworts for that. I mean, we might, but then we wouldn't have it for 200. All right. So, it says 0 surface germs. He definitely output germs, yeah. All right. Well, so we have to deal with the germs. Attenuators? I'm not sure what an attenuator is. An aquatuner? All right, I'm gonna stop pumping. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of ways to cool things down, but they all take power, and I was trying to avoid using power because that's another thing that you have to supply. In order to be sustainable, you have to be conservative. So we could make a big apparatus that that cools things down, but that means that if you want to, let's say, double the amount of dupes you have to double the apparatus, because you have to cool down twice as much stuff. So you can definitely cool things down. I mean, we have a mechanism for cooling air down, but we're trying to scale it. We're trying to apply it to twice as many dupes, to 4 times as many dupes, to 8 times as many dupes. And eventually you run out of something. So we're playing with that boundary to see what we can accomplish. But it looks like as far as I can tell, we're going to have to do something with power. Well, that's what I was saying. Yeah. So we have all these dupes who can run on wheels. So if we can, if we can get enough oxygen to feed the dupes who run on the wheels, then we can keep scaling. But I'm not sure that's the case. Maybe. Maybe. These wheels use 400 watts. Well, I am using deodorizers, but it doesn't kill germs. Just converts it to oxygen. And anyway, deodorizers take sand, and you have a finite amount of sand eventually. I was just going to use this until I could eradicate slime lung. I was thinking that if I could kill every germ of slime lung, it's like we wouldn't have to worry about it anymore. But it turns out that the morbs create slime lung. But we don't even have an infinite supply of chlorine. We don't have a chlorine but again, we don't have an infinite amount of sand. So we'd run out of sand. We've already used 2 tons of sand. So I think what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to build a chamber. We just want to use power. We don't want to use anything else. We'll just use a chamber for cooling down polluted oxygen. When it hits, I don't know, -200 or something, it turns into liquid oxygen. And then we can pump the liquid oxygen back into the base. If we're lucky, then we can kind of heat it up using the heat that's in the base, maybe. But if we're unlucky, we'll have to heat it back up. Maybe we use the liquid oxygen to like. It's a real pain. I mean, one of the nice things about hydrogen is that you can cool it down so much, and being a gas, as it heats up, it's not going to turn into another state. But if you try to cool your base down or cool down something with liquid oxygen, eventually it'll turn into gaseous oxygen, and it'll break your pipes. So it's a mess. So probably we just dump it in the base. It heats up. Maybe we have to heat it up using thermite. What do you call it? Space heaters. I don't know. I mean, we might have to rearrange things. But if we do it like half and half with electrolyzers, the heat might cancel. We have 2 steam geysers. So then you really just have to pay power to cool down the hydrogen, which we're, experienced with. And it's so much messier than what I was hoping for, but I think we can still do it. We still need a ton of morbs. Looks like we haven't gotten more than 1 morb yet for doohickey. Create a box on the side of one and share a wall so that the heat will be transferred. Yeah, we could use the geysers to heat up the oxygen. It's probably not a bad idea, because I mean, if we go all the way with the morbs and all the oxygen supplied by morbs, then we won't need very much hot water. We just need water for food. So basically, the limiting factor, assuming power works, is that we'd be able to scale until we ran out of water for food. I mean, I think that sounds like a plan. So assuming we can get enough morbs, let's say we have 1,000 morbs, which probably we're not going to get without FPS death. But let's just say we have a bunch of morbs. So we grab this this wonderful gas that they create. We'll pipe it. And we do have to pipe it because we have to cool it down, and we don't want to cool down the morbs. So we have to pipe it. And so we'll pipe it to a chamber, like down here. And in the chamber, we'll do what we've always done, what we've done 100 times, which is we'll put one of these things, one of these big old radiators, and we'll get the hydrogen going, not to 70 degrees, but to like -200. And eventually this reservoir of, it's really pretty to watch. Like I said, I've done it before in another base, but this chamber of polluted water will, little bits of it will just start to turn into liquid oxygen. It'll drop down, and you suck it up with a pump. And hopefully you suck it up before it turns into normal oxygen. But, okay, so then we suck it up. We have liquid oxygen in a pipe. So I'd like to just drop it into the base, because if we just drop it in the base, then we don't have to pump it again. That's going to cool the base down. Hi, Delvina. Hi to an employee of Twitch. How are you? Yeah, if I drop it in the base, it's gonna cool things down significantly. But if I don't drop it in the base, let's say I drop it over here into this chamber, you know, in order to cool this water down. So instead of cooling it with hydrogen, we cool it with liquid oxygen. So then I have to pump it again, and then I have to pump it as gas. So I have to pump the gas again. So you've got, I don't know, multiple pumps running, all that power, so much power. But I suppose, what's the point of a dupe? Other than to provide power so that we can have more dupes. So we'll build a, well, we can use all this space. We'll build a big manual generator farm, I suppose. And then we take that cold liquid and use it for farming. I think this is a complete plan. Delvina, we decided instead of torturing dupes that we torture little creatures instead. I hope you don't mind. Oh, we have 2 here. But that's the only one we have 2 for. For their gases. They make polluted oxygen, but we need oxygen to live. We can distill their agony into water. Haven't you ever seen Dune? Oh, you haven't seen Dune, have you? But yeah, basically these little dudes just make polluted oxygen, and it's filling up this chamber. And we're going to turn it into oxygen through an incredibly complicated process. And it's going to take so much power that all the dupes are going to have to sit on their hamster wheels and run all day just so that we can have more dupes. But I think that's better than being put in a room and tortured for your tears, right? Some people might disagree. I think we can turn off plastic production. My goodness, we've just about drained the... I think instead of doing it there, I'll do it on the other side. No, it's silly. No, I think I'm oh God, I didn't realize it was so late. I was thinking about switching games actually, but I didn't realize it was so late. If they're on hamster wheels all day, how do you feed them? Well, not all of them will be on hamster wheels, just most of them. The rest of them will be farmers and cooks. And the ones who wanted to be writers and poets and filmmakers, well, we'll kill them and eat them. It's more efficient that way. Not to mention the real estate agents. You don't want to know what we're going to do to the real estate agents. So, I want to build a chamber here. And I like building it here because it's close to our power. But I feel like I should probably stop here. I was hoping to get more evidence that the morbs would keep spawning. We have maybe the fact that there's 2 morbs here. But other than that, we haven't really seen multiple morbs. Humanitarian lawyers. How late did you get here? I mean, I've been streaming for almost 4 hours. Good question, Doug. I was actually thinking of playing either RimWorld or I was thinking of doing a one-off. And I think I mentioned this game before, but it's a game called Oregon Trail. And it's not Oregon Trail, like Journey to Oregon, but it's Oregon Trail, and it's about running away from zombies. But it's basically a remake of Oregon Trail. I don't know if you've played it, but I think it would be kind of fun. You know, we get the zombie one exactly, and you've got a station wagon instead of a stagecoach, and you're trying to get to the West Coast and run away from zombies, and you have to make decisions, and people can get dysentery and cholera, but also people can be bitten by zombies, and you have to make the decision sometimes to put them down. I don't know. I think I want to play it once, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it's going to be tonight. I don't know. So what do you all think? Do you have any opinions? There's a bunch of games I was thinking about playing. Tropico, RimWorld. I mean, we have the World and RimWorld that we've been playing, but I'd continue that. Sleep, huh? Have you had enough redneck margaritas that you're tired? Or you talk saying I'm tired? Yeah. Okay. Thanks for your advice, Salvina. You're messed up. Too much tequila. I mean, too much bourbon. Yeah, I think I'm gonna stop here. So, my guess is when we load this up again, we're gonna have like twice as many morbs, and maybe I'll do it offline or what. But we'll get a bunch of morbs in here, and then next time we'll build this chamber to freeze oxygen, and we'll probably get pretty close to 1,000. So thanks for coming tonight, and I hope you had fun. Let me know what you want to see me play. I will see you next time.